Hello, everyone. The one called Fate is a dead meme. We're back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. I'm your host, Hunt. We also have G here.
Hello.
And Big Boy Chungus.
Chunga hungry.
I knew you'd say that. I had a feeling. We were making that joke this morning. But yeah, so we're going to roll for... You took my D20. Give that back. We're going to roll for initiative.
I asked for it and you gave it to me willingly.
Yeah, and so you took it then?
You gave it to me.
And then you took it?
I did not take anything. You gave it to me.
Everyone's dumb except for me. 6.
4.
8.
You go first.
All right.
So tell us about your newest campaign.
So today we started the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus module for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This was a really unique and fun experience. We had a bunch of new players and I got to try out, practice my D&D or Dungeon Master skills again. So I'll just go ahead and get right into the story. G.
Let's introduce the characters first.
So G is coming back from the Sunless Citadel as Myastan Balasar.
My dragonborn boy.
D Legend.
Yeah. D Legend was playing a Wood Elf monk.
He's a new player. First time. But long-time friend.
Yep, long-time friend, new-time player. And he actually did very well for his first time, I will say.
What did he play again?
A Wood Elf monk.
Got it.
He hasn't really worked in a subclass yet because he hasn't gotten that far into leveling. But he's really liking it. He's got really good offensive stats, and he's fast as all get out. He's faster than any of you guys.
Yeah,
already.
he's got like a 45 mood speed. It's insane.
Yeah. And then Connor, his character died from the last dungeon we were running, so he made a new human warlock.
That may or may not have been my doing.
It was mostly my doing, but I'm glad you get blamed for it. Yeah, so we ran Rick and Morty so they could finally run it all the way through instead of dying halfway through. And Connor's last character, named Connor, did indeed die during that. But his new character is much better, I think. I like it.
To be fair, I think we were very underprepared to face a green dragon as the boss.
Now, the CR was within your range.
Yeah.
Your CR was 9, is the highest I was supposed to put against you. Its CR was 8.
Very correct. So the way this story starts off is all of our characters were in Baldur's Gates for their own reasons, and which I won't say now because it might come up later in the story and I don't want to spoil stuff.
But they all got hired by the same person.
Correct. At a point in their own personal past, they all got conscripted into the Flaming Fist mercenary group, who is currently acting as the local law enforcement branch for Baldur's Gate, the city. They've been tasked with tracking down, and they can arrest if they want, but they have permission to kill the group of cultists that are terrorizing the city right now, because Baldur's Gate is experiencing an influx of refugees and people who are fleeing another city just down the road called Elchuel. And the cultists are taking advantage of the chaos to murder people.
Oh, I feel like I should say this. I was not playing. Clarence fell shell and dipped out. I was having some D&D fatigue, so I'm sitting this out. I just played with my Predator and Power Ranger action figures in the corner and heckled them while they played.
You actually did help out a lot when there was some NPC stuff going on. Like you got involved with some of the mini games and other stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I also, because D Legend, new player, I also was basically his coach the whole time.
That was very much appreciated because I got to talk to them about what they were doing while you were helping him get situated.
Yeah.
So we both really appreciated that.
I'm glad my presence wasn't annoying because I was afraid it would be since I wasn't playing.
But already I was about to tell Connor to shut up because basically they get introduced to the captain of this branch of the Flaming Fist, whose name is Captain Zodge, Z-O-D-G-E, weird name. And he tells them that he's...
Yeah, every time you said it, I thought of like General Zod from Superman.
But there's a G in there, a G and an E. But he formally deputizes them into honorary Flaming Fist members, so that way they have all the rights and privileges that their rank would hold. And before I even finished reading the block, which kind of peeved me a little bit, Connor says, "Do we get cool badges?"
Yeah, you turned to him and you were like, "Shut up! I'm getting to that."
I don't think I meant to be as angry as I was.
You were so loud.
I thought it was justified. I mean, you wouldn't let you finish.
I mean, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but you're kind of leaning towards not right now.
You're kind of leaning towards getting kicked out of the campaign. You want to die again, my brother?
It's like, well, I was going to, but now that you brought it up, I'm going to tell you no.
And
campaign over.
So yeah, Zodge and his crew are dealing with the refugee issue. So he's hired a group of adventurers to track down these cultists and kill them. You even asked G do we have to kill them? And he's like, no, but I'd prefer it if you did. And he tells you to go to this tavern called the Elf Song Tavern, where you're supposed to meet a contact of his by the name of Tarina, who is a spy/thief guild member. And you're supposed to ask her where she can point you in the right direction because she has information you need. While you guys are on your way there, you run into an encounter with a hooded, cloaked figure being attacked by some other Flaming Fist members, and the hooded figure seems to be protecting a group of refugees from the full brunt of these guys' assault. And you guys intervened, and you got to talk to the old man. Connor made some kind of check where he made a nat 20 on. Do you remember what that was?
Perception.
He was making a perception check about what was going on. So he basically wound up taking over the situation from the Flaming Fists that were being assholes. And
or maybe it was persuasion.
It was
persuasion. Yeah, because they left.
He basically persuaded them to quit attacking you guys, and they gave you guys a quarterstaff to take over for them because they just got bored.
He rolled in that 20 for perception later. That was in the bar.
Okay. So, but you guys talked to the cloaked figure, and it turns out it was someone who Maya Stan, G's character, knew from his past.
Well, sort of. They knew G, at least.
Yeah, they recognized G, but G didn't know them right away.
You were saying?
Yeah, so the cloaked figure revealed himself to be an old human by the name of Joshua Winthrop, kind of like Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean. And he recognized G. And while G never saw him, like his physical form, from a distance when they first crossed paths.
Don't reveal too much now.
Oh, I'm not. The last time they crossed paths, all G saw was just a cloaked figure standing on the edge of a town. But the cloaked figure has now revealed himself to be this old man who is cautious of G, but he's very thankful for him and his compatriots, especially Connor, for stepping in and helping them deal with the Flaming Fists. You guys did a really good job of utilizing your new authority to defuse that situation.
Thanks, Dad.
So after that...
You weren't there.
Clarence left us.
So, yeah, he's dealing with
little bugger.
I'm brokering peace between goblins and kobolds. I'm living a noble life.
That's never going to happen.
It'll happen if I roll high enough.
Anyways, so you guys, after that, you are sent on your way, and Joshua actually gives you a side quest. Tells you to meet him at another tavern in another day or two, and he will have some work that he might ask you for. But you guys accept, and you head on to the Elf Song Tavern. I was really tempted to give some fate points for this because you guys did a lot of good role playing, but it wasn't quite good enough in my personal opinion. But you guys talked to the barkeeps. You guys did a really good job of searching for Triana, and she challenges you guys to a dice game when you first meet her, because you find her because a bunch of people are losing at Baldur's Bones, which is a dice gambling game. And
blackjack with dice.
Yeah, blackjack with dice. And she's basically taking all their money. So you find her pretty quickly because people are getting mad in certain locations around her. And you tell her who you are, and she gets really disgruntled with you because she really wants nothing to do with the Flaming Fist. And so she says, D Legend came up with the idea. Says, let's gamble for it. Let's play a round of Baldur's Bones.
Because she wanted a favor before she gave the information, even though giving the information was how she was supposed to return a favor.
She didn't owe you guys. She owed Captain Zodge.
I still don't see your logic totally, but she is a pirate, so...
Yeah, she's also tied in with the Thieves Guild, so you guys could have totally assaulted her and she just never would have dealt with you guys ever again. But...
Connor did say we should use Hellish Rebuke on her, but one, it's a retaliation spell, and two, that would have been a horrible idea.
Yeah, that would have been...
What do you mean, gonna be?
But so D Legend came up with the idea, and he proposed that they gamble for it. They would play one round of Baldur's Bones, and if they won, she would give up the information willingly. And if she won, then they would stick around and help her with her little favor. I would be honest, she was totally preparing to cheat, but she rolled so good she didn't have to.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness! I
Yeah.
thought those dice were loaded.
Yeah, we thought for sure that
She rolled a
we were
perfect
talking
18 on
No,
the
wait.
first roll.
Yeah, we were talking about it when we went to get Panda Express over there.
My mistake. I got the two mixed up. Yeah, because you guys played 2 rounds of Baldur's Bones. The first round, she totally cheated, but she totally managed to sneak it past Connor's perception and
my investigation.
yeah. You guys weren't being someone wanted to try and cheat, and you guys weren't being real subtle, and she got really angry at you guys.
It's like you're yelling at us for cheating, and
No,
you're
it's
cheating?
because they were talking as a group about whether they should hit or stand, and then she was like, "Stop negotiating with each
Oh
other."
yeah, she was mad because you guys were like strategizing, and my G's character wasn't even playing, and he was like trying to like give influence, and she like pulled her knife out, slammed it on the table. She said, "You need to knock that crap off right now. We're gambling."
Yeah, paladins don't need to gamble anyways.
Well, it's
Not
also
one as good as him.
it's also Baldur's Gate. This is like the Wild West of the Middle Ages.
Plus, I'm loaded.
You are. They have like 15 gold, and
Yeah,
you have
so-
almost 3,000.
Yeah, because the big deal is like, hey, I'm level 4 already because I've gone through the 2 other dungeon runs right now. But since Connor's character died, I not only got the riches from the Rick and Morty, but I also got all of his riches too.
Yeah, you didn't share any with Bork.
So I'm just
No, Bork
Bork
got
was-
his share.
yeah, Bork was transported out of there.
Oh, Bork took some of Connor's?
No, Bork had his own treasure.
Oh, I knew he had his own treasure because I gave him his own treasure. I was
Yeah.
DMing that one.
Um,
I'll tell you some stories from it that I wrote down later in a different episode.
but
More of a
So,
story
yeah,
time
no, I've
episode.
got like nearly 3,000 gold on me, so I really don't need to gamble for stuff.
But yeah, she did cheat at Baldur's Bones. She rolled really high on her deception. She was really good. And she wound up winning, so you guys owed her. And she gave you just enough information, and she told you that there were some former enemies of hers coming into town. They knew that it wouldn't be long before they found her, and she wanted to be in a place where she had an advantage. That's why she's been hanging out in the tavern for the last few days. And she wanted you guys to basically be her personal bodyguards to deal with the situation when they showed up. Which you guys did, and you did awesome in that. And through some events that happened...
Well, there was some role play while they waited for the group to show up in the...
Yeah.
Remember the game I played?
Yeah, you... Connor wanted to gamble some more, and but he didn't want to play with Triana anymore because he figured she was cheating somehow. Plus, everyone else was saying she was a cheater too. So he found 2 more people to play with. But Connor apparently can't learn from other people's mistakes, so he tried to cheat with 2 other players, 2 halflings.
Yeah, you let me play as one of the halflings, and I rolled a perfect 21.
Yeah, you
which
did.
is what you have to
And
roll.
the other half.
And then you rolled a perfect 21.
Yeah, and then Connor said, I want to try... because he's proficient with dice games, I gave him an advantage where...
He could re-roll one of the dice.
He could re-roll one of the dice of his choosing. But he said, no, I just want to straight up cheat, and he failed.
And he decided... He failed hard, too.
One of the halflings didn't notice it, but the other one did, and he got really mad. He pulled out a quarterstaff, slammed it on a table, and called him an effing cheat. And then when Connor tried to smooth his way out of it, he wound up smacking him upside the head. The shifty-eyed
The one I was playing as.
Yeah, the one you were playing as, but while Connor and the other halfling were fighting, stole 2/3 of the gold on the table.
And just bounced.
Yeah, and bounced. And then the other one took the other 5 gold, and Connor was like, okay, fine, you can have it, but the halfling was already out the door with the gold that he had already invested in the game. So Connor lost all of the 5 gold that he had that game, and he lost like 7 HP.
Which is almost all of it.
Yeah, he's a level 1
He was
character.
almost dead again.
Yeah, because I remember after he got hit once, he was like, "Oh, I'm almost dead." One hit. Welcome to level 1.
He had 4 health left.
D Legend, his backstory he's got this thing where he's trying to discover information about demons and devils regarding a prophecy that he's uncovered.
Good quest to play then.
Yeah. So he asked some of the barkeeps and some of the other NPCs about where he might be able to find some books regarding the subject, and he actually got a lead. I had to homebrew a percentage table for what kind of information he might uncover, and he actually rolled really well. So he's got his own thing going. And then Maya Stan G's character, he was you learned a little bit about some of the surrounding areas like El Chuel with the city and everything, what's going on in Baldur's Gate. You did ask around a little bit for your axe quest too.
Well, I asked around if there were any blacksmiths in the area and some that specialized in the magic variety.
Because he has the whistle.
Yeah.
Or let's
Connor
read.
has the whistle.
Yeah, but you took the whistle off of his rotting corpse.
I give it back to him.
Yeah.
You gave it back to Connor.
But one of the reasons you were asking for the blacksmith is you wanted to know about some magical ones and whether they could destroy that whistle.
No.
I thought that's what you were doing.
So Connor's character told me that because it's a necromantic whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, his character wants to preserve the balance of life and death, and they don't like
Raven Queen
things
worshiper.
that are brought into unnaturally brought back to life. So he's into destroying necromantic artifacts business. And I said, well, you know what? Since you're on your way to destroy it anyway, and I have no way of destroying it, you take it and you destroy it.
Yeah, so that was another good roleplay moment. But you were asking for magical blacksmiths in regards to your Axe of Tritan quest.
Yeah, whether whether or not A, if they had any magical gear that I could buy off of them, or B, if they have seen any sort of magical gear come through their shop like that.
Yeah, have you heard of the Great Axe of Tritan and have you seen it?
Yeah.
And then you had a beautiful little moment where you perceived something go outside the window of the tavern, and that's when you rolled your first crit fail of the day.
I think I know what that was.
Yeah, I was told that out of the corner of my eye I saw a yellow blur blow past the window.
It was the golden bird, right?
And I went over to the window to investigate. And in my perception to look up and down the street, I rolled a critical fail. And so, I bumped my head and I cracked.
No, you didn't bump your head. You smashed your head.
Did it break the window? Or
yeah, he made you pay for it.
Well, I know he made me pay for it. I even gave him extra because, I was like, look, I'm really sorry I didn't mean to because I wanted to stay on his good side. And I paid him an extra gold because he said, after I broke the window, he said, hey, now I gotta deal with guild fees. Now I gotta pay for this window. I mean, come on, man. And so I paid him the 8 gold he asked to fix the window and an extra one for all his troubles because he's been nothing but nice to me so far.
Yeah. In Baldur's Gate, a lot of the tavern owners will give new customers a free ale on the house because they love the repeat business.
Yeah, I'd go there again.
But yeah, so...
But, I didn't really find out what the blur was.
Yeah.
My bet is golden bird. The one, specifically the golden bird from Mega Beast Investigator Just Beyond from the 80s.
I don't even know what that is.
Y'all gotta watch some more Tokusatsu. I'm serious.
I don't even know who that is.
Y'all don't know Metal Heroes?
No.
Oh my god. You don't know about the Space Wolf himself?
We've already talked about this. I don't know that. I told you that...
What weeb nonsense are you in?
Yeah, everyone listening to the podcast right now is like, what is he talking about? A Japanese show from the 80s? It's not even anime, so we weebs don't know about it either.
Only Japanese boomers know what that is.
Hey, be careful now.
That's a slur!
Forgive me, Karen. I'm sorry.
But you guys, killed the rest of your time. Connor was nursing his wound with a short rest because it was going to be a few hours before Tarina told you that she had some guys that were looking for, and it was going to be a while before they got there.
Yeah, until it was going to be nightfall.
It was 6 hours until they showed up, and it was 3 o'clock when you guys first showed up, so it was 9 o'clock by the time they arrived. It was the evening time, and you guys actually set up for the fight pretty well. The guys came in while G and D Legends characters were downstairs chilling, and they said, oh, these guys look like trouble, we better go upstairs. And you and Tarina came up with a somewhat of a plan of action, but I kept the pacing going by having you guys hear what the pirates were doing downstairs. Like, you guys only had so much time to formulate a plan.
Yeah.
But they get up there, and Tarina was just straight up hiding. She did not want to deal with these guys. But unfortunately, the pirate captain's perception was way higher than her stealth. And he's like, "There she is, lads, get her!" And then combat broke out between one pirate captain and 5 pirates.
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for the fact that I was level 4, I don't think we would have survived that encounter.
You wouldn't have survived that encounter for sure.
Yeah.
That bandit captain was a level 2 by himself, right?
He was, but I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. The pirate captain was not expecting anyone to come to this woman's aid. In fact, there was actually an option had you run into him first before he sees her, because he's supposed to attack her on sight.
Mm-hmm.
Had you confronted him in the lower level, he would have said there would have been an option for you to bribe him with 5,000 gold for him not to kill her.
How would we have been able to have 5,000 gold, though?
Well,
At a starting of level 1.
Well, that's the point. But he would have taken the gold in equipment or cash.
Oh, okay, so they could have just stripped.
Yeah, but I think you guys still would have had just under enough with all the gold G had and everyone else.
Shoot, it's so much easier just to fight him.
You guys had no idea how much this guy hated this woman. But he also would not have gone out of his way to kill you.
So 5,000 must be how much she stole.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She stole a tiny sum of treasure from these guys before she left. Oh, and she also kicked him in the testicles.
Yeah.
She's not a very nice lady.
Clearly.
Sounded hot, though.
Yeah. The way I describe this woman is she's like Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Bros.
Yeah, I remember, D-Legend at one point was like, is she attractive?
Does it matter?
You guys were like, does it matter?
You're
It was
a
like,
monk.
it matters a little bit.
You're a monk!
But so you guys had it kind of went back and forth a little bit with the combat, but once it got to the point where you guys killed the captain, the cronies that were still left alive surrendered, and they're like, "Hey, you just killed the guy who writes our paychecks. We don't work for him anymore. Screw him."
Yeah, they were done. Those 2 less they had to take out.
And that's because I knew once we took out the captain, the others would probably stand down, and so that's why I was focusing him so hard.
Yeah,
But because while DeAndre or D-Legend and Connor were fighting each other or fighting the guards, I'm holding off 3 of them by myself, and it's just the fact I've got so much health.
Yeah, good thing they had you with them.
yeah. I'm being if you thinking back to it, I'm surprised you guys didn't target the weaker pirates first, because those guys were easy to kill. They only had 11 HP.
I should have targeted them, but
The pirate captain was bullcrap. In my personal opinion, this is just another reason why challenge ratings are dumb. He had 65 HP. He had multi-attack, which I was using the weakest multi-attack he had 2 dagger attacks. But if you guys eliminated the other pirates, it would have been a 4-on-1 fight, which that's still manageable.
Well, what was his challenge rating?
2.
What?
Yeah. At his maximum, he could have done 3 attacks with multi-attack with a longsword. I mean, it was ridiculous.
oh, longsword's D8 damage. Jeez.
Yeah, he would have done 3. He could have one-shot each and every one of you if he wanted to.
Not me.
Well, not
I had
G.
44.
Well, yeah, he
Connor had
Connors and D-Legends.
Connor had like 11, and I think D-Legend had either 8 or 7.
He had 7 starting. He's got more now.
But you were a bit greedy after everything was over and done with.
What do you mean?
Well, Connor's character searched the 2 pirates that he killed, and he wound up getting like 8 silver pieces. D-Legend's character looted the 2 other pirates that surrendered, and he only got like 6 silver. Meanwhile, you looted the pirate captain, you got like 300 gold in
I lost
jewelry.
half my HP and was smart enough to go after the captain first. Well,
They didn't share their loot with him?
Maybe not smart enough to go after the captain first, but went after and put all my attention into the captain and killed him myself. I wanted that loot.
But then I asked him, "Are you going to split that amongst anybody?" And you said no.
No.
They didn't split theirs with him.
And fair enough, but I'm just saying, he said no pretty quick.
Our old group split. Clarence Spellshell would have shared with everybody.
But no, I didn't shame anyone for not sharing. I just asked, you gave me an answer, and that was that. But Tirana was true to her bargain after you eliminated her former friends, now enemies. She told you that the cultists that you're looking for and have been assigned to kill have been seen exiting and entering a bathhouse. And she had it on good authority that there was a secret entrance that led to a dungeon that they've been using. So that was your next location, and that's where we signed off on the adventure. And before we wrapped up, I asked if anyone else wanted to do any last-minute role-playing or side quest stuff. And D Legend did his little thing with a barkeep. G decided that he was just going to go to bed, and he actually found out what the golden blur was by the window.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's a canary.
Yeah, it was a little gold canary, and he was getting ready for bed, taking off his chainmail, and this little canary is tapping on his windowsill, just being all cute. And he opens the door, and it flies in, and it rests on his bed head, or his the head of his bed. And you made an animal check to try and be friendly towards it.
Yeah, I said, hey, what you doing there?
And you actually rolled really high, and it like perched on his shoulder, and it nuzzled him, and it started trying to go to sleep on him.
And then he popped it in his mouth like a chicken nugget.
I
Just
did
chomped down
not.
on it.
I patted him on the head and then went to bed.
Yeah, he went to. It is currently sleeping on your forehead.
Oh boy.
And then
It's like
Connor's
okay.
doing something. He was pretty beat up. Oh yeah, he went to bed too because you all rented rooms for the night, and
I covered D Legends because he didn't have enough gold to pay for it, so I covered his.
and that's where we ended the session. You guys are now taking a long rest, and you guys will be tackling the Dungeon of the Dead 3 next round.
I'm going to
Ooh.
do that side quest first.
Well, you can.
I might do that.
I'm just speaking in relative terms for what the main quest is.
Yeah.
Depends on what the group wants, I guess.
Yep. Well, like I said, D Legends got his little book quest. Connor will be getting some quests in the future regarding his hunt for necromancers and necromantic items. And you are still just going to be doing your thing for Tritan.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. That was the first round of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus.
Yeah, so is this a 1 to 13 or a 1 to 15?
1 to 13.
1 to 13. All right, G was right earlier then.
Ha!
So it's a 1 to 13, and that won't be the only thing the podcast will be covering, because hopefully we'll be having normal game sessions in between, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get back with me and Karen as well for some Call of Cthulhu, which we've been preparing for.
I'm so excited for Call of Cthulhu.
Me too. We all just need to be ready at the same time is all.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we all just have to have time is the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Their schedules and ours don't line up a lot. But they will. I already have 2 stories written for Call of Cthulhu. A classic-y haunted house one, and then one based on my 2 favorite Stan Winston creatures, which
See?
we'll find out later.
Since I'm not playing Call of Cthulhu, Hunt's already told me most of the ins and outs of his story.
Oh, the first one at least.
So the first one, yeah.
I told you about the Stan Winston one.
Yeah. No, you told me the one with the haunted house, too.
About the...
Your 2 monsters, yeah. I know what they are. I'm not going to say them.
It's quiet. Can't let him know about the creepy crawlies just yet. But, yeah, so that's probably about it for today's episode. We're going to have more of the Descent into Avernus in the future. We're going to have a couple of Call of Cthulhu campaigns in the future. The game I really want to do next is actually the Fallout RPG game that you have.
Sure.
You guys let me know when you do that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that's the one I really want to play and do a podcast on again. Last time we played it, we screwed it up, but I think we can do it again.
Matthew and I...
Apparently you're not supposed to mix the DLC in with the base game stuff.
Yeah,
DLC.
Chungus and I...
Yeah, it's the expansion.
Yeah.
Chungus and I played it when he first got it, and we mixed everything together. Which, at this point, because we did it with Munchkins once, and then we did it with...
Well, Munchkins, you're almost supposed to mix the expansion stuff.
Not the superhero stuff.
Well, no, the superhero
No,
is
that's
its
like
own
separate,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, but for any of the expansions for the base game, you're supposed to mix them with the base stuff.
You might... Because, when we started doing that, it was a whole host of stuff going on.
Yeah, but I want to do an episode on Fallout board game, and I want to do an episode on the Fallout New California expansion for it as well. I think they could each definitely fill their own episode slot.
True.
But does anyone have anything else they want to say?
I've pretty much run through all of the daily events that we've been doing. So whatever, unless you guys have any questions you want to ask me or any parts of the story I might have left out.
I'm good.
I've never felt love.
Oh, that's a given.
Well, what do you mean that's a given? Never mind.
We love you.
So, that's it, everyone. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and check out all the cool links in the description. We got merch on eBay. We got... Are you wearing your merch right now? Under there? You look like you have a red shirt on.
No, it's not the... I forgot to wear the
one called Fate shirt.
Knocks on Your Door. I still have it, and I wear it.
I thought you were wearing it. Yeah, I see you in it all the time. But we got merch. We got... excuse me. We also have social media, Twitter at B3 Productions, and there's also a B3 Podcasts Facebook page where I'm going to post the pictures from today's session as well. But that is it. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you next time when fate knocks at your door.